Welcome to the Diamond Mounter channel. I'm Chris Bilton, a professional jeweller for 23 years, up until May 2019 when I quit, left the country, moved to Japan, and now I'm here having fun, making jewellery and teaching Japanese people very English words like pissed and chuffed. Right, today, kind of following up a Facebook post I did recently, about a week ago. I posted a picture of this ring, it's a little leaf ring. It's a nice little thing and it's very quick and easy to make, and it's quite effective what I've done here. This ring actually is a kind of mock-up design just to show a customer who I'm making something for. They just can't decide on a design, and I didn't really feel like it's helping me just doing loads of sketches, so I thought I'd just make something quickly in silver. And it was surprisingly quick and easy to do. So on my Facebook post I said I will do a video for it. Now this is going to be a two-part video, mainly because I want to give you as much value as possible. So I could just sit here and show you exactly how to make this, but the point of my channel is I want people to learn how to make jewellery, not just watch how jewellery is being made. I'm actually teaching it, I'm doing full instructional guides. So this video is just going to be like a kind of training guide. Like I'm going to give you your homework today. Okay, so for now, forget about the branches and the actual ring. We're going to concentrate on the leaves first of all. So let me show you how I made these leaves, and then I'll show you a few other quick ways to make leaves, because there's a few variations I've done in the past. Okay, so I just literally found the actual bit of metal I cut those leaves out of. Let me give you some measurements just so you know what I'm doing. These are thin, little sharp leaves. Just call it 0.8 thick and 2.7 wide. Does not mean you need to have anything similar. It's quite small. So just for speed, because like I said, that ring I made was a silver mock-up, so I was just knocked out. I filed that shape off the top, yeah, and then after that, then I just cut that shape out. So there's my leaf. Let's do that. If you're working in gold or platinum or anything expensive, don't just file big chunks off, cut them off, because your little wasted bits of metal are worth a lot of money. Silver, don't worry about it. Yeah, so I filed that off, so it's just round now, and now I literally just cut the other side out. Just little top tips. I grabbed my pliers to hold it, so it's a bit difficult holding my fingers. Parallel pliers, for whatever reason, they never really hold a flat bit of metal very well. So I've got these pliers with teeth on. There you go, even squeezing it really gently. Barely budges at all. So I think it's worth having a teethy pair of pliers, but yes, they're not ideal for most bits of jewellery. So if you're working with scrap little bits of silver, don't worry about it. I don't want to cut that right through, so it's going to ping off. Okay, so I've got my leaf here. And we'll go back to my parallels now. There you go, maybe not that way, because it's going to rock about like it just did. Going across it. Hit the other side. I would recommend now that it's in your pliers, paper the edges now. If this is like an actual leaf you're going to use. There you go, done. So I put it in a block. Give it a bang. So for this ring, that was literally it. That was my silver mock-up one. I think I squashed it a bit flatter. But to take this leaf a stage further to add a bit more realism to it. Right, rather than, hello, focus. Rather than it just being like a little boat, I'm getting one end, pinching it with my pliers, bending it up a little bit. Just gives you a bit of double curvature. So it's curved like concaved, and then also scooping up at the end. Okay, so this is the end I just pinched, yeah, and got it to go flat. So that's now not doing that, it's going whoop. I'm just going to emphasize that. I put my round file on the top. And the beauty of doing natural shapes, you know, like tree branches and leaves and stuff, there's no right or wrong. Like if I'm showing you make a collet, I'm really strict on being really perfectly symmetrical and getting everything lined up. With leaves, doesn't matter. You can make it wonky on purpose and it will just look more real, very forgiving. So don't worry too much about this. Just get that curve on. So that, I mean, I bent it with the pliers anyway to get the thing sitting flatter. I'm just emphasizing that top edge. Might even touch the side a little bit, one side. Oh, look at that. Okay. Alright, now next step, I'm going to use my paper disc to round off the edges on the top half. If you have not got paper discs, totally fine to go around with a needle file. Just round it off a little bit. Get your file marks out and just get that top curved edge. I should have made this bigger, it would have been easier to show you. I guess it proves the technique will work on even a really small thing. Okay, right now I'm going to put a line down the middle, add a little bit more detail. It's getting a bit more tricky to work on because I've got to hold on to it tightly without damaging the detail I've put on there. See if I can grip it with my half rounds. So, saw blade. I'm just putting a line from that point we just worked on. I'm not cutting all the way up to that. I just want it from the back, the base, I don't know what you call it, the bit where it grows from. Just cutting a line. Again, a dead straight line will look worse than one that's curved slightly. And the technique I'm doing is, 'cause I want that line to go to a point, hopefully this works. I'm cutting up and down, and then as I get to the end, I'm like rocking it, because obviously the top of that's curved. I'm rocking my saw blade over and then tilting it at the same time. So it's not cutting across the full width of the blade, it only cuts on the corner. So that line technically will go nice and sharp as I do that. I hope that makes sense. And I almost think it's nice if you tilt it and curve it around a little bit as well. Oh, I just moved it. To ruin my my little line there. There you go. Check with your loop. You can see my line goes up from the base and then goes to a point where it goes up there. Yeah, there you go. Now I've got my line down the middle, which adds a bit of realism, but the actual line is just like a flat section taken out of the metal, which isn't real at all. So I'm going to use my rubber wheel, little rubber cutting disc, so that's sharp, and that I'm just going to round off the groove either side of that saw cut. I'm just going to round it off either side. If you don't have these, use your thinnest, sharpest, like tri-square needle file. I've got a really good one somewhere. Where's that? Anyway, yeah, just use, if you've got fine teeth, oh there it is. If you've got a fine teeth needle file, then by all means just scoop up and down it and try and curve it, try and get it at an angle where you're taking off the flatness of the saw cut. This is one of my oldest tools, Swiss Cut 6 saw needle file. Really sharp, it's been really useful. And in my groove, just taking the edge off. I mean, this leaf, I keep talking about realism. I guess it is going to be kind of cartoony. But if you did a lot of them, put them together, I think it would look nice. So just to admit, being stupid a little bit. Well, not being stupid, but I just thought of something that would make it much easier. Very welcome just to solder a bit of wire on the base of your leaf, and then working on it, that'd be really easy. So don't listen to me, just go back, solder a bit of wire on it. and then don't worry about holding it in tools, because you can just hold onto the wire. Put wire on your leaf, it'll be much easier to work on. Don't do what I'm doing, or do what I'm doing, because it's more difficult, so you'll learn more, you'll improve your skill, whatever. Okay, so now I'm just gonna paper over it. Done a bit of rubber wheeling. I'm gonna not use that one. This one is a bit more out. I'll take a bit off this one. So just to add on what I was saying in my introduction, this video, I'm giving you the ammunition to be able to do the job well. Obviously I could just show you how to make the ring and then that's it, but with this one I show you how to do some nice leaves, and then you'll have a bit more ability to, or a few more ideas to actually come out with a ring more how you want it to. And what's nice with it is this ring, yeah, I didn't actually design it. It just kind of, I channeled it, through lack of a better word. Just the tension of the metal and just how I was feeling affected how the curves were. I literally just sat and made it with an empty mind. And it's quite a nice thing, because obviously it's all just natural curves. I just kept the curves nice. I just did it by feel rather than, oh, that's got to look like that, that's got to look like that. It wasn't like that at all. I just how I felt was how it come about. So with that in mind, it's more like a real little artwork rather than like I said, like a four-claw collet or whatever. There's got to be really like a military precision. So yeah, making these is quite nice. It's a bit of a weight off your shoulders. There's no like stress to it. You just enjoy yourself and just make it nicely. Okay, right, so there's my leaf. Not going too crazy with it. That's as far as I'm taking it for the video, but obviously you can do yours more curvy, longer, fatter, like just more straight. I don't know, whatever you want. But try and work kind of neatly, because then when it's all nice and smooth, it will polish much easier. And then I think a lot of those together will look very nice. And then if you're making some to put together, make them different sizes and overlap them, and then it'll add to a little bit of realism. Okay, so that was the simple, quick leaf. Next one is also pretty simple, to be honest, but main difference is the bit of metal you start with has to be thicker. You need a bit of depth for this one. So that last bit of metal I had was 0.76, and that was like 3/4 of a mil, and that was plenty for it. This one's 1.2. So, how should I cut the shape? Let's do this one a bit longer, just for making it different for whatever reason. So this one, I'm gonna try and get a bit more length out of it. Do a bit more like that. That's what I'm doing. Right, see if I can draw a line down the middle on this one. Is going to be like an S shape. So how should I do it? See that? S shape. And how I'm going to do that is, see my S, it's a very subtle S, just scoops down, scoops up. And how I'm going to do that is with a half round or kind of curved needle file. This is like an oval shaped one. I'm going to file it at an angle more just this half, and then that's going to push the curve up that way, and then turning it round, doing the same on this end, pushing it at an angle and get a nice round curve that way. So I'll have that shape and then the other way that way, and that'll give me my S shape down the center. Again, might be beneficial to solder on a chunk of wire, and then you can hold it in your pin vise, and that'll be really easy. I'm not putting that much time into this. If you're doing a lot of them, find a way to make it really easy for yourself. That's all I'm recommending, really. Okay, so I'm putting an angle on. I'm not going right to that bottom edge, so I don't want it to be sharp like a blade. Let me just start that off. Just do it, push it past halfway, turn it around, do the same again here. Okay, so just pull that curve closer into the other one. You can see what's going on there. So using that technique should end up with something like that. A little bit arty perhaps, but it's a nice shape for a piece of jewellery. Now you need to consider, that goes to like a deadly point. You need to consider when someone's wearing something, they don't want to be, like young mums don't want to be wearing your ring and then end up scratching their baby. Don't make any baby scratches, that's terrible. So of course you can have that design, but don't go too sharp. Get your buff stick, make it as sharp as you want, just so you get the design how you want it. And then literally just take the points off things at all angles, and then polish it hard as well over the points to make sure they're not like literally going to scratch someone and draw blood. So just paper this leaf, get it a bit neater. Oh, it's getting hot. What's nice with this design, you could have one side polished and the other side like papered. You get really nice contrast. As long as your curves are nice. It's a nice little trick. So these are our 2 leaves. Very quick and easy to make. If you've got to do a lot of leaves on your design, just get nice curves and then don't work on them too much. Don't worry about getting them too accurately perfect, because inaccuracies, as long as the curves are nice, inaccuracies are actually beneficial to making it look more realistic. I remembered a ring I made a long time ago, and I looked through my boxes of bits and I found a casting of one that was unfinished, and that was using like that S-shape curved one. Is where I first did it ages ago, like 10 years ago I made this. So you can see the curve shape things, and this was actually 2 branches the same. I just curved. The leaves are in the same pattern, but I just curved them differently. And then you can see I had it cast like that. So I could get this cast as one piece, clean it all up, and then bend it in position. And then that branch went down into there, that on top, bend that one down. And it just all went together very solid and nice, and all clicked in position. It was all very strong. These weren't too catchy. The last one I sold ended up adding a diamond somewhere, like there, that corner I think it was. So it was a nice little thing and quite a quick and easy ring to make, and then learned the way to get it cast all as one piece to save me work next time. But I think I sold 1 or 2, and then I sold 2, one normal, one with the diamond, and then just forgot about it. Too chunky now. Looking at that now, I wouldn't have made the band anywhere near as thick as that, and then I'd probably have 1 less leaf or something. I don't know. It just looks a bit over, a bit too much going on now for my tastes. Ooh. Okay, so as usual, didn't really have a plan when I started filming. Just wanted to show you how I made some leaves, a few variations that I already had in mind. Really experimenting with this flower. Never done anything like that before, and kind of it's got potential. I learned something messing about with it. I think I'll try 4 petals or 6 petals next time, if there is a next time. But at least I have it in my mind now what's possible and what I learned from this. Just do different variations and just play with it. It's part of the fun of making jewellery, just experiment and do little artworks in metal. It's kind of all it is, little mini metal sculpture, I guess. Right, so stay tuned for part 2, where I'll show you doing all the branches and getting the size correct and different things and tips and tricks on how to get this ring looking exactly how you want it to. And yeah, again, I'll be doing another experiment on getting the branches more realistic, something I haven't done before. I'll be experimenting in that video, so stay tuned for that. If this video was useful or enjoyable in any way, don't forget to hit like and subscribe and all that, notification bell, and then see you next time. Bye.